Welcome back, everybody. It's your girl, Cassie J, and I am very excited about this episode that we're going to get into today. It is the Love After Lockup, you know. And for once, it was good. Like, it was good. Yes, like, it was so good. I had to bring in a little something to sip on. So good. So, I'm going to get into it. Like, I feel like, just about everybody had a little something to sip about. So, we're going to get right into, I'm going to start with, like, I guess the least juicy ones and kind of build up. We'll do that, okay? Say, like, you know, as they say the best for last type situation. So, Shonda and Tyrese. You guys know last week she got released, but Tyrese was just sitting there waiting on her, and he's just checking his watch, and he's like, where is she? Like, I got like a few hours to get her to the bus station so she can get to the halfway house. Her release time was 1:30. We just gonna go through the notes and I give you my little commentary. Release time was 1:30. And it was going on like 45 minutes to an hour, and he hadn't seen her. Gets a phone call. She tells him that they took her out a different way. She was at the bus station. So he jumps in the car, goes to meet her at the bus station. Now, when he gets to the bus station, she was a little surprised because he had on that blueberry pimp suit that I was talking about last week. Nonetheless, she's happy to see him. He happy to see her. She goes in the bathroom, puts on her little outfit. This outfit. Okay, she has on this black jacket with some faux fur on it, some capris, and her prison Nikes. Now, if you took the time to find out her sizes, why didn't you take the time to find out what size shoes she wore so you could have had the baby some shoes? Like, baby need a brand new pair of shoes too, baby. Like, come on, sir. You don't spend all that money to get her some clothes, and then she's still walking around with her prison Nikes on. Sir, come on. The outfit wasn't complete without the shoes. Everybody knows that. You need the whole ensemble. The people in the bus station was looking like, what is this? What is this? What is this mess? They didn't it. I feel like if I had been in that bus station, I would have been looking around and looking the same way, because he was like, give me some more kisses, baby. Come on, give me another kiss. Come on, give me another kiss. Yeah, girl. Yeah, I couldn't wait to get to you, baby girl. Yeah, give me another kiss. Yeah, all that ass. Yeah. He was doing the most. He really was. He was just doing the most for me. So, Shonda makes the comment that she was happy that she had him to help her and support her while she was in prison. It made it a lot easier, but it's also easier when you have more than one person supporting you when you're in prison. So I'm sure that this is going to come up later on, and this is going to cause an issue in their relationship, but we'll have to just wait and see. Now, Quaylon and Chevelle. So Quaylon gets to Chevelle's house where her daughter Myla is waiting, and her mom, to meet him. Myla has already met him. I guess she took him up there to visit him while he was in prison. And she was so cute. She was the cutest little girl. She comes running out the house, hugs her mom. Quaylon has like a little stuffed animal and a fish for her, you know, as like, I don't want to come empty-handed. And when she goes to get her gifts, she says to him, why you smell like that? Why you smell like that? And I'm like, what did he smell like? Was you smoking? What did you smell like? Never did find out exactly what it was he smelled like, but apparently he wasn't smelling an Ivory Fresh for that little girl. Now, when he gets into the house, her mother, Miss Sylvia, of course, had questions. Naturally, she wanted to know what was his intentions with her daughter, because, I mean, I'm not completely sold on this relationship. We find out as he's talking to Miss Sylvia that he had told Chevelle one thing, just like he told his mom, I'm going to come and move with you to Texas. He told Chevelle, when I get out, within 3 months or so, I'm trying to get married. Now the story is, well, I want to be a stand-up guy. I want to, take care of my family and do that. As far as me and Chevelle, we just have to see how things go. That's not what you told Chevelle, though. Now you don't have any definite plans for your relationship. We just kind of playing it by ear, just going with the flow. Chevelle was like, I need an answer in a ring within 6 months, or I'm going to have to let this go, because she's already invested 2.5, almost 3 years of her life on pause, waiting for him to get out. So she doesn't want to spend another year waiting and seeing. I don't blame her. I need an answer too. I would need an answer as well. We're not going to just sit here and just wait and see how it goes. Now, Maurice and Jessica. Maurice is still upset because he's ready to go home, which is Vegas now that he's married. Jessica's uncomfortable being in California because she's not comfortable around his family. She doesn't know anybody there. She wants to go back to her house, her job, her family. And I understand that. You want to be where all your stuff is and where your life is. Now, I was just looking at my notes. Margaret says that. Okay. Jessica feels that Maurice hasn't done enough as far as trying to push the parole board or parole office to get his parole transferred. They were sitting down eating, and this scene when they were eating shows that, they are in two different worlds. She had made the comment in the very beginning saying that they were from two different worlds, and this was one of these examples of that is very true. As they're sitting down talking, and she's just upset and she's sad and she's saying, I'm ready to go back home and I just don't feel like you're doing enough. And he was like, what more do you want me to do? What more do you suggest that I do? She was like, well, have you talked to a supervisor? Did you do that? I understand people that have that mentality of, I want things done my way. All I gotta do is ask for a supervisor and I'll get it done. I know companies that is their mentality of, as long as a customer asks for a supervisor, give them what they want. The customer is always right. That is not true. The customer is not always right. Sometimes they dead ass wrong. And some companies will not just give you what you want just because you ask for a supervisor. In this situation, a supervisor is not going to change the process. And that's what Maurice was trying to tell her. This is something that just takes time. And he was like, I've talked to my PO. I've talked to my PO's PO. I've talked to other POs. There's nothing that we can do at this point but wait. He was like, you're uncomfortable. You don't want to stay at my cousin's house. I can tell that you don't want to stay there, but that's where I am welcomed at this point. So that's where I have to be. If you want to leave, he was like, I can tell you want to leave, and I want to leave too. Then he comes up with the idea of, I'm just going to leave. I love you. I want to see my in-laws. I want to see our house. F parole. Let's just go. Now, all of a sudden, Jessica realizes that, oh God, I don't put too much pressure on him. Never mind. We'll just figure this out. We'll just figure it out. But now they're in the car. And they're on the highway. And they're heading to Vegas. But she gets scared because she realizes that if they get caught leaving California, he could go back to jail. And the sentence is 20 years to life. That is the possibility of the time that he would face if he gets caught. He says he's willing to risk it. She's not willing to risk it. We won't know till next week if they go through with it completely, because as the episode was ending, she was looking to get off at the next exit before they crossed the state line. He was trying to convince her, no, go, go, go. I don't think that that's the smart decision to make. I understand that it's an uncomfortable position to have to wait on something that you really want. I understand that Jessica felt like this was something that's supposed to be just a done deal, like it was supposed to be boom, boom, boom. Unfortunately, things in life don't always go that way. You guys need to wait this out. If she can't wait this out, then y'all are going to have a long distance relationship. A 4-hour long distance relationship until this is worked out. Moving on to Christiane and John. Now, John did get Christiane to the halfway house in time. Kudos, yay, congratulations. So, John then goes and picks up Christiane's mom for lunch because she wants to let her know everything's fine. I got her there. Let's spend a little one-on-one time together to get to know each other a little bit better. Whoo! When her mom comes out and she's like, I don't know anything about him really, but I want us to get to know him and see the man that my daughter married. They sit down and she's like, so I see you got hitched. He said, yeah. He said, we did a Native American wedding. And she said, why did you do it that way instead of, a Christian wedding? Because, my daughter is Christian. John lets her know, well, yep, but I'm a Native and that's what I know. So that's the direction that we went in. And me and Christiana, we're still talking about religion. Like, that's something that we're still working on. And the way he said it, it was kind of like, I'm still working on converting her. Like, that was the tone that I got from the way that he was talking to her mother. And her mother was upset because she was saying that she's always envisioned her daughter getting married in a church and her walking her down the aisle. So this was not the vision. Now, her mother asked, well, have you ever been married before? He starts laughing. And he's like, yeah, I've been married 4 times before. My first wife, yeah, I ran off with her cousin and got married to her while I was still married to my first wife. So, are these Native marriages legal? Because you can't get married to 2 people. That didn't sit well with her mom. It wouldn't sit well with me as a mother, a friend, a sibling, or any kind of relation, friendship with anybody that I care about either. And to make matters worse, he's just what the fuck are you laughing at? Excuse my language, but what are you laughing at? This is your wife's mother that you're meeting for the first time. You're supposed to put your best foot forward and you're laughing at something that's very serious. What is so funny? I don't get it. It's like it's some lights that aren't going off in his head. Like, you know, the string of the Christmas lights, some of his bulbs aren't lit. So that means the first ones are, but the rest of the lights ain't going off. So then he goes and they continue to talk, and she was like, oh, basically like, okay, let's talk about something else, because clearly this subject is gonna, I can see that this is gonna continue to go left, and I'm gonna get more upset. You're not impressing me on this topic. So she was like, well, I'm just concerned about my daughter because, you know, she's constantly been in trouble. What do you think is going to change with her this time? And he said, well, what happened before? Why did she keep getting in trouble? And she said, I just think that she just, basically, she was just saying that she got triggered and then she got in trouble. She said, so you tell me, what do you feel is going to be different with you? Then he proceeds to tell her that they had something in common. They both have criminal past. Mom was just sitting there like, this right here. This right. Sir, you're not giving me anything. Nothing that you're saying is making you look good. And he kind of laughs about that. It's kind of like, yeah, you know, I have an extensive rap sheet, you know, as long as my arm. Yeah, so I made a habit of writing checks. I was like 200. He said he overdrawn his bank account of in the tune of $200,000. And he was like, I just kept writing checks. Sir, so you knew that you were committing a crime. It's not like you wrote a check and didn't realize that you didn't have all the money in there and it bounced. You knew that you didn't have the money. And once the check cleared, it was like, oh, I'm getting away with it. So he said it became a rush, and he continued to do it. He said the largest check that he wrote was like $36,000. He said, and when he seen it go through, he was like, yes, I'm going to do this again. So he kept doing it. He said, but he got out in 2008 and he has not went back, and he knows the feeling and he does not want to have that feeling again. So he feels that he will be able to encourage her and help her to stay out of trouble. I don't feel that way. I'm a little nervous because the fact that your attitude is that you're laughing. I hope that maybe you're laughing out of nervousness, because, you know, sometimes people do laugh out of nervousness. I don't know, though. I don't feel too comfortable. I ain't feeling too confident in this relationship. Neither. Moving on to my last favorite disaster of a couple. Ooh, let me take a sip on this. And I'm gonna take another sip later on this couple too, because they get to drinking on this in this couple too. Destiny and Sean. Listen here, everybody. So they arrive in Vegas, Sin City. Okay. Listen. Sean has went and got this beautiful house for Destiny and himself to live in. He's wanting to build this life with her. He's in love, and she's so excited, and she thinks that the house is beautiful. She's like, I never stayed in something so nice. Great. So he shows her the clothes and all the stuff that he's bought for her, and she's like, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. You spent all this money on me. This is great. I love all this. And she was like, so where are we going tonight? As she's flipping through all these new clothes that he's bought her. He tells her the plan for tonight was to invite his friends over, and they were going to just chill in the house. No, sir, that's not going to work for me. We're going out tonight. This is my first night here in Vegas. I seen all the beautiful stuff as we were coming in. I'm trying to get out here on these streets. I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to pop something. That's what I'm trying to get out here and do. What you mean we staying in? He is insisting that I don't want you to get in trouble. I just want us to have a good quiet night in. Maybe we can go out tomorrow. I mean, we just got here. Don't you want to stay in? No! I'm trying to get out! Sean is getting scared because he realizes that he's losing control already, and he has 2 weeks to get her to this court date. And every time he brings up the court date, she gets upset. And she's like, stop bringing up my court date. And he said, well, I just want to make sure that we make it to that day. Because, it's a lot of money on the line. It's $50,000. So she said, well, isn't this about me? Everything's been about you, honey, since you got out. Everything's been about you. Everything's been about you since he's met you, honey. So they come to a compromise. They'll spend a little time with his friends, and then they'll go out afterwards. So Hector and Veronica come over. Hector was the guy in the beginning that he was working on cars with, that said that he was gonna die. Him and his wife come over, and as they're sitting there, they're kind of like initial introductions. Hector asks, how do you like it here? What's going on? She was like, I'm happy to be here. I was looking forward to going out. So I just want y'all to know, like, my plan was to go out, but Sean wanted to have you guys over so we could cook and have dinner, but we're not going to be here long. We're going to go out later on. Hector makes the comment that, Vegas is definitely the city for that, for partying. They have this, they have that. They have 24-hour drinking. When he says that bull right there, her eyes light up. And she says, what? I can drink 24 hours? All day? Non-stop? We shutting this whole thing down. Let's go. We gotta go drink. Come on, everybody. Let's go. This little indoor activity is a wrap. We're leaving now. Load the car up. Sean was looking at his friend like, why would you say that? You have just ruined everything for me. And Hector was kind of like, oh, bruh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that that's what you was up against. I'm sorry. I didn't know she was on that level. They go to the bar, and Hector is just grilling her. But she's drinking, so she doesn't even realize that he's grilling her. He's asking her questions left and right. Oh, how are you doing? How are you liking it out here now? What do you think? Oh, I'm loving this now that we got some drinks. He asked the question, how many girlfriends do you have? She's like, what? How many girlfriends? Oh, I don't do that. I'm not into that sort of thing. She didn't answer the question because she was not prepared to have that conversation with Sean about the fact that she had been having sexual relationships with women in prison. And that she was going to continue to have sexual relationships with women outside of prison. And he was like, what? He said, come on, you can tell us. It's fine. It's okay. We're all friends here. Like, come on, tell us. And she was like, no, I'm not into that sort of thing. Now, the whole time they're talking, Sean is steady feeding money into this little machine to pay for these drinks because she's just steady drinking. She told the bartender, give me the strongest drink you have. Hector and Veronica says, I don't believe that this relationship is genuine. I feel that she's not the right person for him because she's more of a party girl and she seems like she's just in this relationship for the money. I 100% agree because the fact of the matter is you're already lying about your intentions. You already said that you want to continue to have relationships with women. he's trying to make sure you make it to your court date. You're fussing about that. You're saying that you want to go out and have a good time every day. Stop trying to control me. And she said it again that night. She was like, I'm the type of bitch that's gonna make sure that I'm good. Because they said, do you love my friend? And she was like, I mean, yeah, I love him. She was like, but you know, if it wasn't him taking care of me, it would have been somebody else. You know, I'm gonna make sure I'm good. That's not love. Like, he just happened to be the one that answered the call first. Sean, don't you spend all your money on this black hole. Because that's what that is. It's a black hole. You need to get out. And get out quick. Now, just get her to that court date so you don't be on the hook for that $50,000. But as soon as she get through that court date, you need to go ahead and pack her little bags and send her on. So, this just was like an A+ rating episode for me. I think the next episode is going to be A+. Like, it seemed like the show is finally taking off. I don't even care no more about the fact that we haven't seen this missing couple at this point. We can just stick with the cast that we have now, because I feel like they bring this new couple in here and it's going to drag it down. So we good. We are good. So I will see you guys next week for, the regular scheduled programs. Thank you all for your support. Love you all. Good day.